Okay, so here we are. I'm going to click on the home button, I guess. By the way, I do like it when my logos are the home button. So, I mean, you can have a home as well, but I do like it when the logo is clickable. Just because for me, as a default, that's kind of the standard. So I mean, this is a nice website. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to go through things I want changed or things I want to suggest changed. I trust you a lot. I'm not slamming it. I'm just saying this is kind of word heavy up here. And maybe a suggestion as to whether maybe word heavy is okay. Maybe some sort of a video or something. I don't know. I'm not against it. I'm just saying that I don't know. Is there sort of but I do like the choose your path logic. I definitely think that I like things that work without scrolling. So like I'd be more okay with this than this. Obviously the copy I gave you, if you have any improvements to it, I'm going to read it over. I think it can be improved, but obviously once it's WordPress, I can fix that. Little things, but language barrier, I don't expect that from you. ChatGPT gave the copy its good start. I can tweak it. If there's some way, and again, I don't know, but keeping above the fold is huge for me. Maybe making these more visual options. Bullets, maybe, I don't know, shapes, something. We don't just list properties. We understand how they perform, how they're structured, and how they're bought and sold. That's a great unit. And that, you tell me, it might be a matter of my copy needs improvement. It might be a matter of I need to fix the copy in order to get what I'm looking for. I like it. The layout is great, but I'm stuck here. I need to spend a little bit of time on that if you have ideas. Okay, this section is mostly bullshit, which is a problem when you're a licensed agent. We don't have 35,000 happy customers. I don't know what numbers we can put there. I can give you logos of websites. I can say, as seen on NBC, which isn't a lie, our local NBC affiliate, we did buy one TV ad, whatever. If this can be a slideshow, that's great, because only self-storage is really all someone sees here, which is really all this is. And this may be an image I gave you, I don't know. But if this can be changing it, some sort of a slideshow or something, that would be great. Or maybe a quad image showing self-storage, mobile home park, residential, multifamily, something like that. Whatever. That's great. Guerrilla Real Estate about Guerrilla. Probably about Steve more than about Guerrilla. Or whatever. But again, minor changes. And here we go with another section that's basically about Steve. And this may be my copy problem. I may have given you bad copy, but now this is where you've got to say to me, hey, listen, this isn't what the homepage needs to have. So I need a better delivery on the homepage. And I think the easiest thing to do, honestly, is for right away, this bar, for right now, hide it. Unless you have 4 buttons here: sell a property, buy a property, bring a deal, join Guerrilla. Okay. choose your path, and this could be sell a property, buy a property, bring a deal, join Gorilla. Pushing this whole thing up a little bit further. Again, keeping the action points above the fold. And then take this section and this section. And first of all, I think they duplicate each other in terms of content. My fault, not yours, but let's talk about that. But if this 4-block area was under right away here, again, these happy customers thing, that means nothing is wrong. It's just simply not true. I don't know 35,000 people. I've never done anything that's reached 35,000 people. But if there were choose your path, and choose your path, since it's doing an anchor already, it already jumps down to here. But from right here, we saw sell, buy, blah, blah. And the next thing on the page was sell, buy, and the other two sections, bring a deal, join Gorilla. All right. And this clarity before commitment part is very important. More important, I think, than who I am. Why people choose Gorilla over a franchise. I like that. I like that section. So I think that this section here, and this is I'm not, this section here, again, I gave you the copy. It's my fault. I'm not taking back from that. But this section here is kind of redundant to what we're already telling back here. We're saying operated in multiple slides of the table. We've talked about Steve. Homeowners need clarity. Investors need numbers that work. Commercial owners need this. Da, da, da. I like this section. I'm not sure. And again, my copy problem, not yours. But I think, again, bullets or blocks would be the way to do it. Almost like how you had it laid out here. And I'll change this copy as well. So this is something else I need to make a note about, because I almost think that this drop-down game you played here, which is great, specialized lanes maybe should have another one. Investors need clarity. Find out more. So this copy in here, wherever that copy went, investors need clarity part. Homeowners need clarity. Investors need numbers that work. Commercial owners need discipline. Blah, 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 blah. If we could pull that from here, because this part up here, we don't need, because we've already told about Steve. And we use those as pop outs in here. Specialized lanes. Homeowners need clarity. A blurb about it. Investors need whatever. A blurb about it. Da 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 da. Gorilla was built differently. We understand, specialized lanes. Gorilla was built differently. And then boom, 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 boom. Real needs, real solutions. Well, see, we're already saying it here. Specialized lanes is the investors need clarity, homeowners need clarity, whatever. Take the copy from up here. So take the copy from the expertise built from both sides of the table, which can go away, and make it in the drop downs. And in general, and I'm going to try to be clear about this, in general, I feel like this is a lot of stuff for a home page. And it's kind of, again, my copy, my problem. I'm not blaming you, but it's a little bit scattered. So, and by the way, these emails need to be clickable down the bottom of the page. If you show an email, it's got to be clickable. And we don't have phone, and same thing with phone number, maybe, I don't know. So what I'd like to do initially, and I'm going to rework this a little bit as well, is I want to make sure that below the bar, below the menu bar, that real estate experience matters section, which I think I want to tweak the words on, but minorly, the choose your path has to be above the fold. Or above the fold has to be sell a property, buy a property, bring a deal, join Gorilla. So you can either tweak the header buffer above real estate experience matters, or if you take the 35K happy customers, 28 years experience, 50K base growth, monthly active users, scroll that up to cover choose your path. So choose your path goes away and those 4 bars move up, except those 4 bars become sell a property, buy a property, bring a deal, join Gorilla. And then below that, all those do is they move you down to this quad of sell a property, buy a property, bring a deal, join Gorilla. Meaning about Gorilla, which is now about Steve, goes to the bottom. That is the least important thing on the page. We then have, and then below the sell a property, buy a property, bring a deal, join Gorilla, I like those with the pictures and the little blurbs you have. That's great. Keep the clarity before commitment. Like it. Why people Gorilla over its franchise? Great. Like it. We've sat on every side of the transaction. Again, my copy, my problem. We've led on every side of the transaction. And the real transactions, real structure part, I like better than the we sat on every side of the transaction. Experiences and claims. So the real estate, we sat on every side of the transaction part can. So I actually like moving commercial and storage and real transactions and those sections up above we've sat on every side of the transaction. And real transactions, real structure should be the left hand, and commercial requires discipline should be the right hand. And in the who we serve section, it feels like we've already said that. We've already said that somewhere. That homeowners require and blah, blah, blah. We said that here, I think. So the section down here, who we serve, kind of repeats it. Even if my copy repeated it, feel free to hide that section. No need to delete it. We might bring it back, but feel free to hide that section. Start with the right path is very clearly belongs on the Join Gorilla page. So the start with the right path section doesn't need to be on the home page because you've already talked about Join Gorilla. It's already there. So that start with the right path is a little redundant. And I like the start with the right structure. We don't need to waste so much space with this image here of people sitting around a table, unless you want to move start with the right structure over it, or else shrink it, trim it, do something. Because I'm basically have an entire scroll of nothing but people sitting around a table. I'm very glad they are multicultural. I'm very glad it's not 4 white dudes. And then right above the footer is what you now call about Gorilla, I think. It's actually about Steve. That's right above the footer. And now I'm going to use the top menu. Please make sure that the menus all do what they should. Again, we don't waste the scroll. Okay. So you already see the gorilla. Having the gorilla twice doesn't help us. You already know you're on seller property. Doesn't help us. Having basically the business card as a background to the word seller property doesn't help us. If you want to do breadcrumbs, you can do them up in the upper bar. So it should be here. Except you don't need this left menu to repeat what's up here. This left menu can be residential, self-storage, commercial, multifamily, investment, something like that. So this left menu on the sell page, there's no reason for these two to be here. This one's always going to be here, so this one doesn't help us. If you want a sub menu on selling, go for it. This Stephanie Ott image, get rid of it. That isn't a valid background anyway, and Stephanie's no longer with the company. So Stephanie should be nowhere. But also, I don't know what that image is doing for us. See these pop outs? If you had these menu items matching these pop outs. And you can just have Steve at Gorilla. You don't need both of them. And that's not the right address either. That's not the address that's on the business card. That's not the address of the company. Don't even worry about the mailing address. Well, the mailing address should be there. It's 480 Pierce Street, Office 219, Kingston, PA. And we say on the form here, it should just be a hot link to get you down here. Sell now. I'm not sure why when I pushed sell now, it messed up the scroll. And you tell me when you need a form, I will give you the form to plug in. I want all the forms to come from GHL. I'll either give you the form or I'll tell you to make one in GHL. I don't want forms in here and then they have to somehow find their way over to GHL. I have the form for this. Also, it's very slow. Same answers here. That image at the top of the buy page doesn't work. These drop downs, this secondary menu matches the first menu. That doesn't help us. The Stephanie Ott picture doesn't help us. Have a project in mind, 24/7 online support, contact us, which doesn't go anywhere. And again, the speed of this is worrisome. I'm assuming it's because it's on a demo server. So pretty much same answers as we had before. These pop-outs can be your side menu at the top. I like the idea of being a side menu. And above the fold. So losing space here doesn't get us anywhere. Bring a deal, same problem. We're losing space at the top. We're duplicating the menu. Almost, the Stephanie thing is they're almost the same mentions. These pop-outs, which are great. Submit an opportunity can be the form. They can be the same. Join Gorilla. Same thing. Above the fold. Left menu doesn't need to clone the top menu. Left menu needs to have its own action. Now, I thought I gave you all sorts of instructions about our compensation structure and everything else. Okay, so the graphics aren't really working for me on the agents page. I'm not sure what Join Gorilla and agents, how they're different. Because Join Gorilla doesn't really tell me wholesalers and deals. Okay, somehow these two pages need to cooperate, because they don't make, when I'm looking at the menus, do I want to join Gorilla, or my agents is actually a better name for a list of our agents, meaning customer wants to find the agents for the company. Put everything on it under Join Gorilla that has to do with joining or becoming an agent. If you're an agent, you're not. I don't want to show view listings. That doesn't get us anywhere. We don't need that right now. That button doesn't go anywhere right now. We don't have enough for it to matter. So the agents page deals with people finding our agents. And so we want to talk about how we have the right agents, how we have agents that specialize in commercial, multifamily, blah, 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 blah. That's what that page focuses on. The Join Gorilla page focuses, and I think I gave you compensation. I gave you lots of stuff. If you don't have that, please let me know. Listings, again, we're losing all this stuff that breaks the scroll. Listings, I'll give you where that goes right now. It doesn't go, we're not going to, it's going to be, but if I'm not sure why we're saying on the listings page what the listings should display. That may be in my copy, but you got to think about it like the copy from ChatGPT. We're not teaching someone who's looking for a property what it should display, but that doesn't matter because the listings page, right now, the listings page just needs to say, contact us. Keep the listings page generic. It doesn't click anywhere. It doesn't show them anything. About us, again, we got a scroll problem. All right, so the About Us page is good, except we have the loss of real estate at the top at the bar. And that really, if you want to do that, how we work. So on the How We Work page, I'll rework the copy. I think the PA Act 1173 and the 30-day rescission provision, these are very, those sections are going to go under Join Gorilla when you're talking about wholesalers. And this is, each one of these pop-ups is probably going to need its own sub-page. Clarity Protect Everyone. Click to learn more. There's an entire page that includes, for right now, licensing and why Gorilla is structured differently. License versus realtor, know the difference. These are agent conversations. 1173. These are all agent conversations. Rescission provision. These are all agent conversations. So this page, How We Work, will start here. NAR compensation don't leave separation. Take that out again. My copy, my problem, but the parentheses don't have to be there. And we need a side section here. Why this matters if you're joining, that should be on the join page. Our philosophy. I'll come up with better copy for how we work, because this is more of a public facing, everybody has to work with this page. But take the things that are specifically why this matters if you're joining. These two sections are great, they can stay. 30-day rescission 1173 and licensing licensed realtor, they all go under Join Gorilla. And I'll break them down a little further, but basically Join Gorilla under these drop downs here, each one of these drop downs will have its own page of stuff. And I think you can tell where it's going to go. But basically, they may need extra. So make sure if I create a page, it clones in this look. So if I decide to move stuff around. You've done great. This is a great start. These are just some ideas. Also, we want to be able to reference other services or something, which we will basically be a drop-down menu of the stuff that's here. This drop-down menu, basically, other services. But it won't exactly be that drop-down menu. I basically want to push lending. I want to push education. I want to push property management. Those are the three really other services we want to leave sections for. And self-storage does need its own page because I buy self-storage. So that's another other services, things Steve buys. Boom. So hopefully this helps.